entire space across the continent of Africa and beyond. And it's time with your homie, your boy, your toy, who brings you nothing but joy on your TV screen. His name officially is announced AKSA. Just call me Mr.Bonez, aka Mr. Incredible, SKA. Now say, we're back in time. We've been hearing the voice. Little did we know that there is an image behind the voice that we've been jamming to and all that. Most of us enjoyed most of the songs that were being performed by this great voice, but we didn't know that the name is Joe Mettle. We normally see him, you know, a group 10. Then you hear the voice, Charlie, voice not the pass at them, but cheer, and the union never say your branch friend Joe Mettle, who has been behind the vocals that we've been enjoying years back and all that. And Oshana, who say also Usa, when you know, because Nendia, you enjoy Chepa, and most people will say that Charlie, Adomna. Today we are here to have a great convo, and I know you're gonna love it the more. I know about 6 albums. I don't know whether it be one of my church call maybe I name there, but to the best of my knowledge, I know from 2011, yes, from 2011, 2013, it's been like that. And this year, we're going to have an experience as well. So, Joe Mettle is up in the building. Let's enter into a great convo, and I know you're going to love it the more. So, just tell a friend to tell a pal that we're on live now. They can join in and be part of this great moment that we're sharing right here on your TV screens. That's what's up. Uncle Joe. Akaba. Semishe or itinerary sometimes, and I say me Bremen, because the next day you are in US, the next day you are in Ghana.
I think how do I say the grace is sufficient. You manage, yeah.
Now let's get back into time. Now you need to come up Kakra before we get to. I know there's a big event coming up in Kumasi here, and people are very expectant of this particular one. But now, we'd like to say congratulations for all your wins as an artist. The first time a gospel artist emerged as the artist of the year was Joe Mettle actually setting that pace. I say James but finally it was broken. Yes. But how was the feeling that when the announcement came, Joe Mettle as the artist of the year?
Oh, it was. I think it was humbling, exciting at the same time. And one of the things that I kept saying was the fact that this was for the gospel, because the support that came was beyond just me. I saw the whole industry or the whole gospel family pushing, or the Christian community, to a point where I think that when the results came out, so all the other artists in it results in combining the crowd and still median was still too high.
Yeah.
That was how vast the difference was, and I was like, this could only be God trying to make a statement. And so I felt humbled that, you know, I got to be the one, you know, that God used to do that. And it was just a humbling experience, and a joyful one too, for that matter.
So back into time, how was growing up for you like?
Growing up, I grew up mainly with my mother. My father was around, but I grew up mainly with my mother because we tried to move around a lot. I was born in Accra Central, the typical Accra Central, so not the one that everyone knows. So I was like, as a Kumasi inside the Honana, until Honana, but like, so I grew up in a very difficult environment, you know. So growing up was more like tough, having to work to survive and to do at a very young age. I started Ejuma.
You started Ejuma time.
And me na me Ejuma. Mame the ono be Ejuma be na me so maybe.
Ejuma be na Ejuma sana kai.
Oton ahaban. Na so ni ahaban de ton watch ni.
Green one no.
Green one. Ti no eno na no ton. Nti okofa ba omo the brain. I think now if you take out so baby neighbor. Ti e ba ono echichire na ye dey am me ko echi na me ma ko supply and some ko school ni ade. I think someone introduce parks no rubber no, and we had to find other jobs. And this obeton watch kakra and so, and I think we ton kerosene. So I've always had to work with my mom, and so yeah, basically that's it.
Are you the only child to your mom?
So I'm the eldest of 6.
Okay.
My mom has 2, my dad has 3. They are not together. So my mom has 2 children extra. My dad has 3 children, and but between the 2 of them, I'm the only child.
Okay.
But I'm still the eldest, so I'm sort of like in between all my younger siblings.
And I'll call Umami's side.
Because my not that my dad was still there, but it's just that me no know a movie most of the time.
Oh no, mommy, movie. As a mommy's pet, bisa.
Pets park. Not really though. But I guess I wanted something different. So sometimes when she moved, I just would sort of like tag along. So we stayed at Accra Central, we moved to Kologon, or we moved to Big Base. But even during that time, my mom would move me to places. To Matina Kede Sukakra, Matina Matina Kede Kakra, Matina Adabaka, Matina, different places. So that's how my life was growing up. I was moving around a lot based on because there were too many hard times. In theater, you're trying to find solution to some of the challenges. So that's how I grew up.
But looking at the areas what's next now, you know, as a hono baby as a had a hono issue.
Yeah.
Hono issue.
So I think the movie free Accra no imagine maybe I even movie Kokum Kakra. And a movie called Kologon I'm saying I saw had the frying pan fire like the same na. And then we moved to. So we didn't move to Dansoma. Somebody always say, "Oh, we used to live in Dansoma." No. Where we live wasn't Dansoma. It's called Big Base. So Dansoma and on the last stop, they down a compound hobium. So it was like literally, so. But then after a while, we're like, I moved towards town. Okay. But even before then, I had moved around. I stayed with friends. Me a day. Tibi alcohol boys in back, maybe I know I rent baby, no alcohol purchase baby to be purchase or movie now to the next and to the next until I was able to, by God's grace, afford the place myself, and then I got a chamber in a hall to start with and
But Joe, areas now was Christianity something that they placed premium on that?
Oh yes. So I think one of the things I'm always grateful to God for is even during my whole movement in Adeno, some of the people that I rode with were more church boys. Okay. So I think the movements were based on because then I used to play. I used to be a drummer. So and during that time it wasn't too much for me about the work of God. It was my boy Yutiaka. Like because in his car there the time near Fina we preach church until started preaching and so Shabo
dinner by
so for family namenko. But over time I realized that no, God had something amazing for me. It was beyond what I thought so I started slowing down to wait on what God wanted me to do. And so I think I withdrew from music for a while, probably like over a year, just to wait on God, praying, spend most of my time in the church, trusting God to understand. So when I figured out what he wanted me to do, the next thing I did was I started serving with other people that has gone ahead of me, so I started serving with the likes of the late Danny Nete. So I was with Danny Nete for a while. But I think before Danny Nete, I was with Cindy Thompson or something. I was with Cindy before Danny. Okay. Because with Cindy, I wasn't singing. I didn't sing whilst I was with Cindy Thompson. Because there wasn't space for me to sing on that band. But I still wanted to learn. So I was like, any space that is available, I'll take. And they said, there's space for percussion. I said, I'll play. So
percussion in Conga.
Yeah.
And now Kobo Cindy Thompson ho.
Yes, that was what I used to play on the band. And Sana, the advance of the late Danny Nete. Then later me joining Soul Winners as the lead singer. And Sana me solo as Joe Mettle.
So now joining Soul Winners, honey dia ufri konka bonumu akosomo Danny Nete ho.
And Sana me Soul Winners, yeah.
So at that time, Okoye, as somebody who is ready to sing, or probably they saw you and felt
so winners asked for. So winners like reached out, and they said, oh, that time the previous leader Apia had left for the States for a while. So they asked, so they want me to join them, blah 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 blah. Because around that time, the catcher said years ago, mafia me beat me, but they got to a point I'm like, you know,
mafia. I don't know join no one gentleman.
I mean, the thing is, I used to be a big fan of Souvenirs. I still am. But and then I think there was some huge event here at the stadium years ago. Then I'm the crouch at Bayana. And I mean, I'm in Niajin, I'm a call, and I'm shy me. I show me off. No, because I think the way I was excited, I got almost shy of pan, I'm a call with you. But I mean, I told them that thing. I said, I said, no, man, I come in joining that. But, you know, I thought that it was a good way to serve. And so I accepted. And so I was with Souvenirs for a couple of years, maybe about 5 or 6 years. And then I had to go to uni, into my school. It was getting in the way of the group's operations in that day. So I had to step back. But when I was done with school, I thought it was time to just go on to the next phase of what God has called me to do. So, yeah.
So, what would you say was that intriguing factor and your passion for music? Growing up, were there some musical influences in your home?
No, I don't. I still till date don't know any of my family members who's a musician. But even when I was young, I always knew I was always drawn to music. As to where or which part of the music I was going to do, I didn't know.
Okay.
But I knew whenever there was a service, and sometimes you say, no, there's something about there's a church around my area when we used to live in Accra, Faith Evangelical. Those times, I could praises I had groove me. I didn't make this, you know. So I always knew that I was easily attracted, but I didn't know how far I was going to go, what God was going to do with me, until, you know, I had a call that, you know, God wanted me to do this, blah, blah, blah. And I spent time to wait on it and everything. And this is where we are today.
So who would you say discovered Joe Mettle?
You know, I've never thought of this before. In terms of me being a musician?
Yeah, in the limelight, probably with the drum side to vocal.
I wouldn't say anyone discovered. I think mine was more of the Takashi, but definitely God used people in the sense that sometimes they gave me opportunities. So I would say the first person I met in my life when it came to the music was a friend of mine who's now a pastor. He's called William Uda. He was then in an Assemblies of God church. Sometimes I made and then I get access to the instruments.
Okay.
That was how that started for me. And so it was actually through him I joined the Assemblies of God church that time, because then we had moved to the Dansoman place. I think so no, and then before it started with the service of the likes of the names I mentioned, Cindy, Danny, they all gave me opportunities. I mean, there were places I'll go to, I get audience just because, oh, are you not Danny's boy? That was enough for them. Yeah. That alone gave me opportunity. So I didn't even have to introduce myself. Just the mere fact they remember me with Danny, I got the opportunity of being attached to him. And for me, those were some of the things that I would say that the service did for me. And so anyone who knows me or is close to me will tell you, like, I'm big on service. I feel like in our day and age or generation, it's one of the things that is really lacking. We don't understand service. Everything has to be paid for. So maybe somebody wants to draw somebody closer and say, I know bit you. Yeah. I always tell people that when you serve a man or when you work for a man, they pay you. Because once you are working, you'll be paid. Yeah. But when you serve a man, they pour into you, which is beyond payment. And pouring into you means they are pouring experience they've gathered. They pour the things they went through and the lessons they learned out of it. They're going to pour into you the things they spent years to acquire in terms of knowledge and understanding of what they do and everything. They pour all that into you because you are serving. Yeah. You know, so it's one of the things that it's like a ladder. I've been there. With everything I went through to get there, I don't want you to see all of them. But I can share with you so that some of the struggles I had, you don't have to. And that's what service does for an upcoming person. And so those are the things I feel like it really helped me, my relationship with these people. And on and on and on. I've had relationship with men of God and other things too, who have also poured into me, many. So I'm more like a sum of all these blessings.
So, at what point in your musical career that you decided to say no? Is it like I'm in studio, and I'm recording? I want to release a song. I don't want to be the say and me yes, you know.
I think before I met the late Daninette, na album bina medical shiano. Until album maybe release, and back then I had met someone who was going to produce the album. And no case and coming from command no tea. No, if there's something that can be done about it. I be mixing and I baby. And so it was out of that I met him, and then later I started rather singing with him. But when I got close to him, I realized that I didn't have my and I got to be answer. I mean, because you debut.
And this album,
I'm out there about because it wasn't so when I got exposed to what they were doing, and I was like, no, there's a lot I have to learn. Let me just go and put that somewhere, cry and start learning all over again. So I think after the whole school and Sowiness thing, and I decided to go back. Because Sowiness, even when I was with Sowiness, I started recording my album. In fact, before I joined Sowiness, the same way. I was recording my album when they asked me to join, so I put it on hold. But then I recorded a few songs. Until after I left, I decided to finalize the project and then release them. So that was when it all started.
So looking at the years that you've been around, aside your personal albums that people can tag, oh, this is Joe Mettle's album, conclusively, how many albums have you recorded with others and yourself as well?
You mean songs or singles? So I mean, definitely, normally with people, okay, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, yeah. So this is 6.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So albums officially will be 6, unofficially 7. I had some worship and experience album, worship and count or something. That one I never count it as one of my albums because it was like live sessions. And then now I have one single, so there's a new album that will be released again. So that will make it 7. But then by God's grace, over the years I've been able to do quite a number of singles, which some of them I don't remember, but I think the one I really remember.
But also when it's Muye album done as an
yes, Walabolo. The Walabolo was a whole album. But I didn't sing the whole album. I think I sang 4 songs.
4 songs.
Out of the 9 or 10 tracks. Because then what we wanted to do at a point was to have some of the lead singers also do other songs. So that, but then when we finished recording the album, on the live stage, they made me sing all of them.
Okay.
So I had one album with Sowiness as well, and the rest are mainly singles. Plenty singles. In fact, it was just this over the week, Monday night, but I decided to just type, I don't know what came, and I'm sharing the number of features, Dawson. I couldn't believe it. Plenty. So those are the ones. I think one significant single that I remember was the one with CC. What was it? Her new song, that's the D.O. yes, D.O. It's true.
Yeah.
Why indeed, to me blue. But so that one too I remember, because that one I wrote the song.
Okay.
Before like.
I was just about to ask you that. Have you been writing songs for other musicians as well?
I hardly do, but once in a while so I have 1 or 2 people. I think so. CC was like one of the few people who I did for. I have other people I've done for, but they are not out yet.
Okay.
So I think lately I started working on things like that as well.
At the first now one person man.
And yes, sir. Once uncomfortable with how more person
okay.
So even me, I mean, sometimes I'm like, I have some of my friends. I will say, you know what? There's not that I don't have other songs, but there's a particular song maybe I can hear in my spirit, but it's not on my album. maybe like if you have any songs, maybe I know Nani Pandey say, what kind of songs are you looking at? Then we'll talk about it, and then you realize they have a song. I think on the, let me see, on God of Miracles, for instance, I was done with everything. The title was God of Miracles, but there wasn't any song called God of Miracle on the song. And then I spoke to one of my friends, Edwin Datson. I was like, bro, like, do you have any fast song? Because I think most of the songs I have are all the worship and mid-tempo. Do you have any? I was like, yeah. He said, oh, what's the title of the album? I said, oh, God of Miracles. Like, okay. I mean, give me like some few days. I'll come back to you. And then he wrote the God of Miracle. We serve a miracle working God. So Edwin wrote it. So all I did was just fix it, put some extras, and then arranged it for us to record. So that song was really written by Edwin Datson. And I think it gives that opening. And even for him to say, like, there's a song I think I have on, it was supposed to be on the last album. I didn't use. You know, and so we're at the studio, and then I play. I was like, who's on the debut? I said, you like him? I said, yeah. I said, take him. We are done. And it fits most of the kind of like songs he's recorded for his new album. You know, so I believe that it should be that way, but unfortunately, normally it's not that way.
But what you are actually sharing with us means that there is this kind of unity among the Christian community. But
I heard that a lot. They say unity.
As a monk.
Okay, so I would say we're Christians, but at the same time we have friends. That's what the thing is. So the fact that it be a madam phone does not mean say me no want to.
Okay.
But I also acknowledge the fact that we are in the same vineyard. So I do acknowledge you, I do respect you, I do know you.
Okay.
Maybe we might not be sitting somewhere say but I do have friends. But normally when that happens, people think it's a very terrible so that's what basically it is. So some people, the relationship we have with each other goes beyond the music. That's what it is.
Okay.
So there are some we have relationship beyond the music. That's it.
And others is because of the industry.
It's because of the ministry and the music we find ourselves in. That's it. That's basically what it is.
But now, looking at all these albums and all that, what kind of message do you perceive to convey when it comes to you releasing albums and all that?
I think each album comes with its own message. What if you've studied most of the albums I have? Well, there's a wind of revival. That season, God said He was sparking revival in the lives of people, and to the glory of God, many testimonies followed when we released. Until date, we still receive testimonies out of it. Encounter, same. The experience. So each album,
amazing album,
carries its own message and its own, for a better lack of word, you say vibe that it brings. God of Miracle had its own message. Sound of Praise had its time. My Gratitude, also the same thing. You know, so the songs portray different messages at different times. I think that as an album like God of Miracle, it preached a lot of hope and trust in God. A lot of the songs, you know, God is a God of miracles, name them, and then he had some praise and worship songs. And even when you listen to some of the worship experiences we had on it in that day, it pushed that agenda of the fact that we should hold on to God and have hope in Him near day. So every album carries a unique message. The same way, like it comes with the themes that God gives us each year. Near day, yes.
There is this notion out there that most people who are into Christian music are not purported to be Christians. Are you a Christian?
Am I a Christian? I wouldn't be anything else. I'm a Christian. I'm a staunch Christian. Why not? How do I put this?
Because there is, like, people know that, oh, show business now, so more, and they know, because
what do you think? Do you think I'm a Christian?
Because a Democrat, me quite those who
but do you think I'm a Christian?
No, I just need confirmation from you.
No, I'll tell you why I'm asking you. Do you think I'm a Christian?
From your actions and the things that you do, I do see
That's
Christ
what
in you.
that's what it's supposed to be. So for me to rather push it in your throat that don't you know I'm a Christian. If I have to convince you that I'm a Christian, then I have work on myself to do. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The moment I have to convince you I'm Christian, then there's a lot of work I have to do on myself. But the fact that you can testify that I'm a Christian is enough. You get my point? Yes. Because if I had to say, okay, oh, when we say, yeah, me to say, also because the people need to see Christ in you.
Yeah.
So before you would even tell them that you're a Christian, they have already seen that life in you. It needs to be evident in your life, not just what you say.
So, what would you say success is when it comes to your career for you as an artist?
I would say doing the will of God and walking in the path He's asked you to. Basically, that's it for me. Once I get that done, I've been successful. Many times, it does not reflect the same way as the world portrays it. But what I realize is once you are walking in the path God has asked you to, every other thing about your life falls in place. It just falls in place. That doesn't mean that you will not have struggles, you will not face challenges, but it just falls in place naturally. And for me, that's what it's been all these years. I have not had to do anything much. I hear a song, if I have to do, I do. God says, hold back, I hold back. He says, go here, I do. He says, don't do this, I just stay back. So each time what I hear is what I basically do. There have been times where even my own team will say, are you sure? Should we do this? I said, let's do it. Once I've heard it, I'm sure that this is what God wants us to do. It may not look like it, but He knows what is at the end than we do. He knows the end from the beginning. So let's just take the step. And each time, even the store, you know, I had some of the guys, oh, why? Are you sure? I said, yeah. So, you know, it's what has my music journey been for me all these years. That's all it's been for me.
I know sometimes when you get to places and people begin to share testimonies of what your songs have been doing for them. I know soul winning has always been the agenda for any Christian music person. But are there some testimonies that you heard? Now one guy says, I shall kill. People shared with you and you feel like, hey, when you know to me see it because of this thing.
The shock, no, but the joy, yes.
Okay.
I think it makes me joyful and to think that, then whatever I'm doing or God is doing through me, if I keep doing it, He will do more. And also a confirmation that He truly was the one that is speaking to me, if that makes sense. Because some of these things you do, or some of the songs you do and people testify and everything, sometimes you also had your struggles when you had to release them, because I'm like, this song. But God says, no, this is what I want to do. Let it go. And sometimes I release it and you received many testimonies from deliverance, from death to childbirth, from sickness to provision, to many things. Many testimonies. I mean, sometimes it's like, you know how sometimes they come to you and say, I know you hear this every time. I'm like, no, I don't hear it every time. Please say it.
Say it.
You know, like people always come I know you hear this every time, but your music has been a great blessing. I said, no, I don't hear it every time. Each time you say it, for me, the joy in my spirit even triggers more thanksgiving from me to God. That He could use someone like me. I'll tell you something. There was some miracle I was trusting God for. Like bad. And God says I should hold on. It wasn't time. It caused someone's testimony to trigger it back for me to realize it was time. Because the person testified of that same miracle. I said, he said, it was through your song. If it wasn't that your music, the music caused me. I said, Father, it was me that you used to do that song. You know, that kind of thing. But this is what happened. Before then, I wasn't one that listened to my music a lot. Every musician will tell you, like, I don't want to hear myself. Maybe. But I sat down and thought about it and said, you know what? I'm making a mistake. I'm making a mistake in the sense that I don't have to listen to it as my music. I have to listen to it as the message that I am sharing with others.
Sure.
And so I allowed it to start playing back to me and start ministering back to me. Because sometimes you can actually just be the one that sends the message.
Yeah, the vessel.
And never receive from the message. And so I was like, no, I've made a mistake all this time. So I started allowing the song to minister back to me. Not that it never ministered, but not in the way that it was ministering to the people. Because I wrote it. No, I wrote it. So in my, you know how someone, the person will say something, I'm like, yeah. But I said, no, I'm undermining the message God has given me. I'm undermining the power that the music carries. So I started allowing it to minister back to me. And I tell you, it started doing the things for me. So the testimonies that the people shared made me also realize that I could also even be enjoying some of these testimonies. And that was how it started for me. And till date, yeah, so sometimes before me too, I'm enjoying that miracle. No, I won't allow them to enjoy alone.
so now it means that like a lot goes into releasing a song and releasing an album from your side.
Definitely. You're talking about the writing process, maybe the arrangement process. You're talking about then the musicians coming in to work it out and all those things. You're talking about the prayer, because there are times that you can receive a song and there's something major you feel like is missing out of it. And sometimes your ability to write is not working. And you know that, okay, based on how you receive the song, the only thing that can open it back up is prayer. It's prayer. And so you trust God, you spend time to pray over it. You leave it. Sometimes I'll pray and then I'll leave it. Because maybe the way I'm expecting major random time. Before you'd realize that the thing just dropped. Like, oh my God, that's the. And the moment it drops, you know that joint, no.
Joint, no.
No.
So Joe, now being around all these years and churning out amazing projects, life-changing songs and all that, I know, sir, just like you mentioned, testimonies here and there. But you as a person, when you look at your ministry and the things that you do, sometimes last year you were nominated even for the Artist of the Year. A lot of people were saying, Joe Mettle, nominating, you get some of these things, but I can see, sir, like you on your gratitude tour in the States, you played about 16 cities, or shall I say
so we did it, for the tour, we did 6. 6? And then there were other gigs there, yes.
By say mo boss animana, ya mo mo deuro. Nti ya na manfo hu se.
Okay. So the way I did it in this, you're born there. Like, how did you get to know it was there? But you see, the assumption is that how do I put this? I didn't quite say environment and settings. So the fact that it be original baby based on the kind of like area specific thing. Sometimes they assume that the thing is not there or the thing is not happening. Obi wo ha ebia yemfa say oye secular or blog secular niama most of the time. So what really happens in the Christian settings, only it's only to us you say we do speak about it. But just events in this will happen to me. Imagine me if I have to put my itinerary out like that.
But I itinerary is an amount for Gina so the cast as a woman.
To the amount, but on
any old corner, their mammy, hear me, pa.
Because obviously,
sometimes what is sounds and
they are only count too much.
Anyhow,
oh, Debbie. On say, Obia is entitled to their opinion. You can't hold somebody accountable for their opinion. There's a reason it's called an opinion.
Okay.
It's not the fact, neither is it the truth. So you can't penalize them for it. And I do understand many people sometimes before they even speak wouldn't have done their research. And so and there's no need to go back and forth with the people. I always say that I prefer to give you results than response. That's my principle. So I would rather give you results than response. So that because me respond there, still you expect results. Yeah. So let me leave the response and give you
results.
So I'm very okay, very okay.
What time?
No, I'm very okay.
I'm very okay.
I'm okay.
but so 2022, the places that you've been to, I know, say
2022.
Yes.
Like I feel
Yeah, I feel
the places I've been.
Yeah.
Hey.
Shows our bonkwa okay, best.
Oh, I will tell you so. Those. I think
one cast out the can say no two. And I trace over Kumasi.
Oh, I think on top of my head, within the last 2 months, it probably would be like maybe 12 or 13. Just between last month and this last month. No, maybe the last 2 months. I maybe. I do. I mean, it's I'm in kind of point upon.
A point upon.
I feel now. But oh, when you say me boy, you are. And that baby. A baby bread. But I think I've been to the States twice or 3 times this year. A few events here in Ghana. Mostly, yeah.
And they are now the itinerary number home here. Because they do 10 born man, I say, I can say, who defend there, and I come here, I say, I'm on for to Boba Park and so bad.
Okay. And then because I didn't say, oh. There are times that setting
events. Yes, yeah, pampa do.
Setting events, me share that and I mean to me fan 12. And
oh, they share that for 12 months.
Hey, because Obi Oha, or not, and even to talk about even private events. Oh, bad they all. But yes, in the end, there.
By now, on this kind.
Nature say, meaning they are all
you say, okay, converting. I just want to know who say. It's actually
when you say Minjiska, like from the organizers or from the
no, I mean say it is believed say gospel for any there shows you don't I say I mean it's believed says secular for any Jessica for shows but I'm no more than I shows I think maybe just for clarity so the be that Thomas will not come and say na nazo mo de free show omo the end
show if you say
but do awoje kakra brajo
the say obeji anya kakra obeji I mean the point is, and it depends.
Okay.
One of the things I always say is it depends on the kind of events you are doing. You don't treat the church the way you treat a corporate event.
Okay.
So sorry. But then corporate is your corporate.
CCC on a Sunday. Kadosh. Kadosh is it a Greek word or probably any Hebrew word? Hebrew word. But I saying when you say the experience.
Yeah, it shared the holiness of God.
The holiness.
So we're just gathering to lift up the holy God. Basically, that's what we're doing. So every year God gives us a theme that we run with, and I think one of the theme giving us this year is to champion the holiness. So we're speaking more about the holiness of God. If we're created in His image and likeness, what He is, we can also be.
Yeah.
And so that's basically what it is. But we're gathering together as the people of God to lift up the name of Jesus and to proclaim the holiness of God, basically. Yeah.
Now, 2 shows down already.
Yes.
Kumasi is going to be the 3rd one.
Kumasi is going to be the 3rd.
The first 2 shows are how sharing the experience with that. How was it?
It's been amazing. I mean, I wish that I could have sent the snippets to you, but it was a blessing. Sakrari was a great blessing. And we trusted God, said Kofoyudia, because I kept hearing in my spirit it was even going to be better, and it was, from the energy to the experience to the power of God at display in an auditorium and other things. It was just a great blessing. We're trusting God that it will be a step even higher here in Kumasi as to what God is about to do.
And it's CCC.
Yes. CCC, Eija.
Eija, all them.
Oh, my back Kumasi too many times.
Yeah. So Eija, there's quite a thing. I'm saying last week you were there.
Yes, no, 2 weeks ago. Was it like, yeah, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So before Koforidua, I'm back, massive briefly to just do a few church tours before Koforidua, yes.
Oh, Koforidua.
And I'm Asaba.
So, Kadosh, I know you.
I like the way you say it. It's like Kadosh.
Kadosh.
Because the can answer over twice.
Kadosh.
Yeah.
So, this experience that we are going to have with the Lord, I know you are not doing this thing alone.
Yes.
I know Ohima Messi is on
board. Messi is coming.
Kofi Osupra
is coming.
MOG.
Yes.
And I know other ministers.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, say almost a day, you know, so you have 4 per bat.
But there are more, yeah.
Yeah, many more, no.
I know here.
Asemumpa.
Asemu.
So, if you are thinking of being somewhere this very weekend, then you got to be at the CCC auditorium. It's just going for 30 Ghana cedis. Yes, come for an experience. And 50 and 70 for VIP. Yeah, so if you wanna more muntu bomb on some near I don't know. Only a monko VIP on my on pay how be a
VIP
VIP near Ubet born some day because show no and a VIP one band him one once as or more yamas a vim na original set and so na so article. May I who say no and nim one of the munyama be boys and may have be asano. Esremo na MMS ho kama isa eh eba be say ho So Joe, now how is family life now?
Good.
From singleness to
more
day.
Some me buy and chair. I think August 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
It's moving. Oh, God has been gracious. God has been very, very gracious. So it's working.
Oh, worry, a lot of people were, hey, Joe, you don't know on your back. Now, I'm on for Tabby. Hey, now I saw you for the penny my power. So, Joe, how is family life now? And also, also, Jumai, meaning maybe I'll call count on there.
Yeah. Normally, she comes with me. The seminar medical.
Okay.
So she'll come later. I think she's been with us on the whole tour.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So she's mostly with me.
Okay.
So we manage it here and there because it's so sure now so you don't want to be on the road and you sort of like not spend time with your family. And sometimes some of the ones that we can move together we do. Yeah.
Okay. Bayana hana kakra.
Say.
So who took one do?
Some in the echo sometimes. Oh yeah, quite a number of them in the echo.
Okay.
Oh, and I have so if you have that kind of wife, like she's understanding.
Okay.
She knows what God has called you. She knew or understood the assignments on your life even before she decided to marry you. So she does understand.
I come to do now because I didn't say. But on the low, like what is that special thing about her to your ministry that you like about her?
Because special thing is the fact that she's my wife.
No.
It's part of the ministry.
Yeah.
The wife is a ministry. Only the ministry.
Also me.
Ministry. No, but she's mainly like she's actually part of my ministry. She also has her stuff that she does whilst we're so she works as part of the people in the ministry.
Okay.
So even when she's not on road with us, she also has her own. I would say that my wife runs most of the some of the social media stuff, some of the social media campaigns. Sometimes she's like the main drive with the whole team that they do those kind of things. So yeah, she's part of it.
Any special message that you would love to add to our conversation by far?
Oh, special message before, like, is it like a wrap up or just a message?
Yeah, a wrap up message.
Oh, a wrap up message. I would say Sunday.
Yeah,
That's
Sunday.
all I would say. Sunday. I mean,
CCC auditorium.
CCC auditorium. You can't miss it for all the fufu in Kumasi.
Aye.
I don't say just that particular time. Yeah. Don't miss it for the fufu.
So
like the fufu now, say Sunday 5.
But udi fufu.
Oh, me di fufu. Fufu.
Baba unya bindi.
Say na me buy na me nyandi fufu.
Okay.
Internet say me mark ma still me wo.
How you do?
Me wo new job area home.
And so obesa no.
And
American visa name.
Oh no, but definitely.
But come and Mr. Say you, mommy, why? Say
no. I have 4 maps. They want me. But just say me na me start here.
Alright, so this Sunday we are having a great time together at the CCC Auditorium, Aija to be precise. Just be there, will be nowhere. And now you come boom now at 4 p.m. 4 p.m.
4 p.m. not gated.
Yes, now be
never be partner.
Now if any come. We'd like to say thank you so much to the team and also to Joe Mettle and his ministry for actually honoring our invitation. It's been a long time coming, and finally he has been here, and he's been. We are grateful, and we wish you all the best in your endeavors and all that you do. Keep winning for Mother Ghana, and we appreciate the love and the support. And also to the team, Diva Stone Director 1, to Whitney Truth, to the people behind Sound and Light, and I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Samuel Sapon, and also to Nana Kwame, to my floor manager Abe Kontonchina, and also to the guys of the MCR, Desmond Boating, Ezekiel, and to you, some of you guys are just super. To my EODs and my TODs, I'd like to say thank you so much. And also to Mark Berry, Sedako, and the rest of the team. It's always love and amazing having you guys around. Tickets, no? Pacho, set a while, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, tickets, no out.
Pacho.
Uber to many be war. You can get tickets from day-to-day supermarket.
Day-to-day,
Harvest Chapel International, Grace Baptist Church, Amokom, Spirit FM, Frances Beauty Lounge. You should be able to get tickets there. Best Kiddie Haven. And now you can even call 05